Hey there, Chief Meteorologist Matt Lopon again, joining you from our room-to-room weather center here. We are looking at, again, a cold night on the way, dangerously cold temperatures once again moving in, and still assessing the full depth of the damage and impacts to some parts of North Mississippi. Joining me here live is Northern District Public Service Commissioner Chris Brown. He is in the northern portion there of Benton County along Highway 72, which I don't know if everybody knows down here in Tupelo area or south. This is a major thoroughfare, just as important as Highway 35. I mean, this is US 72, runs from Memphis out to Florence, a major highway, and it's rough up there, right?
It is, and I came north just to lend assistance to some of the people up in this area. So I started out in Alcorn, came up through Tupelo and Prentiss County and Alcorn County, and hit Tishomingo, and then came across on Highway 72. And just north of Boonville, it starts getting like this. And so you can see there's only one lane of traffic on each side of the 4 lane, and everything is still just solid ice. So there's still over 104,000 people out of power and 104,000 connections. So I think we've made some, the crews have made some serious headway. I think they've reconnected over 15 or 20,000, and the work continues to go on. So as you can tell, I just wanted your viewers to know, I mean, this is a main highway, kind of like 78 or I-22 on the northern main corridor, going across the top of the state. And the side roads are solid ice. So as these linemen are trying to get through to repair the tree, to get the trees off the power lines, you can see a set of lines going through the woods here, and there's vegetation on it. And obviously, they have to get there and energize. If it's broken down in the woods there, they have to get crews down these roads on the side roads, and then into those backwoods areas to try to get the power lines restored and the poles replaced. So it's a Herculean task. And so although things kind of business as usual in Tupelo, it's still pretty rough in the northern parts of the state.
It really is. We had a video come in from Pontotoc County, drone video of some of the Pontotoc Electric folks, clipping, just trying to pare back enough to get the branches off of lines. Any place there's a branch across the line, it's going to, flip a breaker if a connection's there, and then the power's going to back out. It's just, it's hard to wrap your brain around the grid of power lines and all the places where it can trip.
Yeah, and I wanted to just let people know too that the power lines, it is a grid. So it starts with a substation, and then they power out from that substation. So that the electric companies, the local power companies, and the linemen are doing everything they can to finish that process as quick as possible. But it takes a while to get. You have to do it in order. So you can't fix a power line in the middle of the woods somewhere because the substation is out. So you have to fix it kind of concentrically, if you will. So you get the power station energized, and then they have to fix everything in succession out to your home or location. So it does take time, and so it is a methodical, laborious task that they're endeavoring to achieve right now, and they're making a lot of headway.
They are, and I think that's the reason why sometimes people are like, well, how did my neighbor get power? Or right down the block, and it's over there, and it's over there,
Yes.
and it's not here. It's because they're working their way out from the substation.
Correct. Yeah, and you never know how the lines work. So you got lines that power each house, and sometimes one side of the road can be fed by a different substation. And so just have patience. And I know it doesn't make sense a lot of times when your neighbor has power and you don't. But just know that I've seen hundreds and hundreds of linemen on top of poles in these type of conditions, and you can see the trees still have ice all over them. Vegetation on the power lines over here, and it's safety first, and it's going to take time, and they're working as hard and diligently as they can. I've seen trucks from all over the southeast, across the northern district. You go by and you see a bucket truck, and you look at the decals on the door, and they're from all over. So it'll literally make a hair on your arm stand up to know that how they band together, or how we band together to try to help people in need. And there are a lot of people in need. And Matt, I'll say this: there's some local people out of water, and so some generators that went down, or they didn't have generation to keep their water pumps going. We have had some people call and say they have excess generators. So if we can know which water systems are down, we're trying to um, locate them and then put them with other resources that have an extra generator or two. So we don't have a
So,
stockpile, but we're just trying to put people together to try to get
so
service up
here's
as
the
quick as
question.
possible.
If they're trying to get that out, I'm going to put on your name key here in a second. What should they do? Where how can they contact? Do they need to contact you? Is that the source to connect? We have a generator not in use to a person who needs a generator. Are you the kind of the network between those two?
We will, yes. So I know that there's MEMA's on the ground; they're working, and we just want to do what we can. So we had one one guy call us and he said, "I have four extra generators." So we got him with people that need those generators. So I mean, we're not getting in the way of anybody. We're just trying to help put people together. If you have a generator that you don't need or that you're not using, that you don't mind somebody else,
He's getting a phone call there because I'm sure things are pretty busy. We'll give him a second for that. You're watching Mississippi Live weather here at 3:49 p.m. on Tuesday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon. We're on live with Northern District Public Service Commissioner Chris Brown there in the northern part of Benton County along Highway 72. Again, you're going to get phone calls, and when you get phone calls, that is fine. You're informing the public, but you're also coordinating so many different things at this point in time. So go ahead, talk about connecting people, generators that have them and aren't using them, to people who need them. And in particular, I mean public
yeah,
entities like water systems.
sure. Yeah, even individuals that have generators, we've had some people contact us, and our call center there. We're finally have power in New Albany, so our team is there, um, taking calls and trying to help people where we can, even if it's not in our wheelhouse. You know, I tell people the first two words in our name is public service. So if we can help put two people together that can help one another, we're gonna we can kind of facilitate that and do everything we can to help that.
So I started asking this. I didn't get it fully asked a minute ago. So if they want to contact you, what is the best way? Because I'm going to type that up and put that on the screen below your name here in a second. So if they need to, if they have a generator, and in particular when we're talking about public entities needing a generator, what's the best way to contact you?
I'm going to give you our phone numbers. Of course, they can contact us at our New Albany office, or they can um, our Facebook page. Any apologize.
No, you're fine. Hey,
Let me
I
just
asked you on the
contact.
fly something, and it's just like when I was at the TV station. I was there 15 years, and I don't think I could have given you the home number without looking at a business card. So I completely get it. We live in a cell phone world where you just press the button. So go for it.
Yep. Yeah, but my cell phone is 662-315-6966. That's my personal cell. If they need it, they
Six
can also
six
dial
one
our
six six.
office.
Ooh, hold on.
Uh,
Let me. I.
this
So
number,
give me that one more time.
if you can hear me. Sorry if you can hear me.
I
Uh,
can.
northern District at psc.ms.gov is the website, and our phone number is 662-432-1144.
Okay, that's 662-432-1144. And in particular, I'm
That's
putting this
correct.
up so we can connect, folks who have generators to entities that are going to still need them for a while. Let me put. I'm just going to put.
Correct.
Can
Yes.
you help? Okay, we'll put that on the screen now for folks so that they can see that. I need to mute my phone here behind the scenes. Chris Brown, again, we're talking with the Northern District Public Service Commissioner here, who is in about as far
And
north
it's
as you can get
Matt.
in northern Benton County. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And that last four is 1141. Last four
Okay,
of the phone
thank you for
number.
doing that.
One one.
See, this is 1141. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got that fixed. 1141. And you see, you're in the northern part of Benton County. 72 looks rough. We just got an alert from the sheriff in Panola County, and I don't know if I think that's part of your district as well, but this is more traffic related, that
It
they have
is.
folks backed up on 55. to the point that people aren't moving and can't necessarily get out. It's just a reminder that if it looks like what it looks like, I'm popping up so people can see it full there. That there are other spots that are in really rough shape as well. I mean, that's not exactly passable roads back there. That is emergency travel only, right?
It is, and so obviously I'm bringing supplies up here. I wouldn't be on the roads. That I know that I-22. Um, some of our team traveled it this morning. There were some 18-wheelers stuck in one lane. They couldn't get up a hill because of the ice. So you could, if you venture out, you could be stuck for a while if trucks are across the road, or if there's if they can't get up a hill, like what we saw at I-22 this morning, then it could be a while. So again, if you don't have to get out, don't. You can see they're still moving, but it's still real. If those guys are going slow, it's treacherous. And so
Absolutely.
he's moving pretty slow there. Um, so it's bad. So remember, even though it's nice where you're at, some of your listeners are in areas that aren't impacted like this and have been spared. Just remember that our neighbors up here are still in need, and if there's food collections or anything like that going around, just send an extra pallet of water or food through the Red Cross and others to get up here to the people that are in need. And we're one Mississippi, and these are our neighbors. So we suffer together, and so just remember that there's a lot of people still in need across the state.
Absolutely. Current time is 3:55. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lopon. We're on live here with Public Service Commissioner in Northern District Chris Brown. I'm pulling up some power outage maps, and there has been some improvement. It's still a long road there. Any more insight on maybe from some of the local folks in the field about how long until we kind of reach that point where it's the more individual ones that are being picked up? I mean, obviously, looking at those trees, there's still dangerous ice on them as well, and that I think complicates the matter.
It does, and I did get word earlier that the main line between New Albany and Corinth has been energized from TVA. So that was a huge hurdle. It doesn't mean everybody is going to be on in those areas, but that served Kossuth, East Ripley, and I think parts of Corinth. So that will help. And so now the LPCs can again starting to evaluate and energize those individual homes and meters. So there is a lot of progress. I know it's slow, but the line crews are working, and they're all over. As I've driven across the district here, it's an army of linemen trying to get everybody back up and going.
Yeah, I think from a messaging standpoint here in the Tupelo area, and I mean location southeast, when we say 1994, people go, there's nowhere near like 94 here. But that's because Tupelo was kind of the edge of the epicenter, and then it continued northwest in 94. Tupelo largely missed most of this, despite some power outages. There's some spots up there that look, they look worse than some tornadoes that we get.
In 94, I was, I've been in Mississippi my whole life, born and raised here. And I was here during 94. And when you're up here, this definitely feels like 94. And we had another one in the 80s that was pretty devastating. But it's going to take a while to recover from this. And thanks for letting me show your viewers the way it is right now. And that's the beauty of live stream, that you can see it real time, and so it's not pictures that were taken 2 days ago. I mean, this is right now, and
This
it's going to get cold again tonight. Yes.
No. I mean, you nailed it. This is going to get cold again tonight. There's going to be more people that are in danger tonight, and we're losing it. You could argue that we had a little bit of a travel window today, and that is pretty much closing at this point here at 4:00. Those temperatures are going to start dropping pretty quickly. I want to ask a question. I've seen it come up a couple of different places. New Albany asking folks to conserve water, at least the dripping on the faucets. We're kind of losing the window on that as well. Same thing at Oxford. Have there been not just water pressure drops, but yes, that, but also water shortages beyond just generator issues? I mean, there's just so many different layers that electricity impacts.
So a lot of the systems that went down, you let water run, it doesn't freeze as quick. That's why we drip water. But as they have so many people are dripping, and they lose water pressure. If you lose water pressure, then you have boil water notices. So it's kind of a double edged. Don't drip your water when you don't need to, and obviously right now, don't drip your water, and that'll allow those water pressures to come back up, so the systems can serve. Because again, if it drops too low, then they have boil water notices. So help out the local water associations. Follow them online if you can, have access to it, because they'll give you tips and cues on how to help them help us. So if the water pressure goes down because we're dripping, that doesn't help anybody. And so we're in this together. So if we work together, we'll get out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And through time, that will happen. I'm thinking of other different ways. It seems to me, and maybe I'm wrong, one of the amazing things that happened, in the COVID, post-COVID years was the expansion of high-speed internet across the region. Ours never went down here. And I don't know if this is a life and death question, but I'm just curious if you have any information on the percentage of high-speed providers that stayed up, because it seems like most did.
Most did, of course. The same fiber that goes on the poles were interrupted, just like the power lines. And thanks to ourselves.
Yep. Another phone call there. We'll give him a chance to do that there. Because so on in some cases, folks, go ahead. So,
Yeah. So
the reason I bring that up is because I have Tom Bigby Electric here at our broadcast facility, but I also have Tom Bigby Fiber. My electric went
yes.
down. I had battery power to it. I still had my fiber, which was a huge blessing and something I'm thankful for. And I think that maintains that connectivity even in power outages. In some cases, assuming you can keep your router up.
Correct. Yeah. So I don't have the number. You asked the question. I don't have the exact number. We've been focused on utilities, but I'll get it to
Yeah.
you and send it to your team to let you know. But it is a lifeline. So we're able to communicate with the outside world, and I know cell service is patchy in areas now because of some power outages and overuse. So I know that that's our lifeline out to the world, and it's been, I know, in parts of Benton County and Marshall and Tishomingo, we're seeing some drop, a lot more drop calls and slower data. So the system is getting
Well,
strained all over, but
has that strain increased? I mean, is that something that someone at home needs to consider at this point here, that they're at home, that they need to, again, home with electricity, conserve that data and conserve the cell phone system? Are we a place where it's more stressed out today than yesterday, or at a place where this has just been sustained in its stress level?
I don't have the direct answer to that, but I know that overusage, people that their fiber did go down, they result using their cellular data. So I would say that more people are using cellular data now than previously. So it is helping slow down the system.
That makes sense. Okay. So again, we're with Northern District Public Service Commissioner Chris Brown, who's in northern Benton County, showing you the roads that should not be traveled, the trees that are still capable of bringing down power lines. And I think it's just amazing to me to think of some of these linemen. They're not all in bucket trucks. Some of them are climbing up these iced poles, and we're telling people not to walk on their front porch. That's just, it's incredible the danger these people go into, both in ice and in storms. And we should just be very thankful. We need to be buying these men and women dinner when we see them in the coming weeks, just at a restaurant. We need to be doing that for a while.
Hey, yeah, and if you see them, buy their meal. Buy their coffee. That's just a little thank you for what they do, and they are truly. I know they're not recognized as first responders, but they truly are. We as the Public Service Commission put out a resolution encouraging that that our linemen be added in the classification of first responders, because they're out when conditions are the worst, through rain and tornadoes and sleet and snow and all those things, to try to make sure that we have the comforts that we need to survive, water, electricity, those things are what we need, but special electricity when it's this cold.
And it truly is, a life and death situation for those that are on, on oxygen, on life preserving treatments. And without power, there can be major issues. So they really are first responders, and they are heroes in the situation. We're thankful for everything they're doing. Anything else you want to add?
No, sir. Like I said, if you have anybody out there that has extra generators that they don't mind contributing, and then those that especially utilities, water and things that need generators, we'll try to put those two together and try to do our part to help get some of these systems and utilities back online.
We appreciate that so much. We appreciate you. And again, we can pop on here whenever we need to. Let us know if you have new information. Chris Brown, Public Service Commissioner, Northern District, joining us here on Mississippi Live. Thank you so much. I would say stay warm, but you've got a pretty good trip back there, so it's going to be kind of a cold trip. But stay safe because those roads are going to get a little worse.
Thank you. And thank you for what you and your team are doing. And pray for our neighbors and pray for our linemen. Stay safe, Mississippi.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Chris Brown, Public Service Commissioner, Northern District, join us here on Mississippi Live once again. We're so thankful. You can see the power outage is still there in Alcorn County, but at least there's progression being made now that main TVA line has been reconnected. As he mentioned, the TVA line between there and Union County restored as well. So this is going to, again, try to help some folks into parts of Union County get more electricity back. But it's that last mile, not necessarily the main transmission line, but the last mile between your house and wherever those main lines are that in some cases more than 1 mile, that is going to obviously be tricky. And that's where people are trying to get it back. So we've been watching the comments. Again, we appreciate all of your support and prayers and things of that nature. I do need to, and give me a moment this is going to kind of pop around here so I can figure out which of these browsers I want to reiterate something we talked about earlier. 8 Days of Hope, which is there's going to be a lot of stuff pops up there. There we go. A charity here in based out of North Mississippi here. They are going to be deploying to parts of Lafayette County, Oxford in particular, on Saturday. They go all around the nation, do hurricanes, all sorts of natural disasters, and help out. They're deploying originally from North Mississippi, deploying to the Oxford area. You can volunteer. They have information on how to do that on their website, 8daysofhope.com. They also have feeding stations set up here across North Mississippi. And those feeding stations important for folks that are hungry, don't have food. So they have 4 of them set up at this point here. If you're one of those folks that does not have food, most of the meal times for today have passed. But I bring this up to say that they anticipate they'll probably be feeding people again off and on for the next few days as well. I don't know if the Tupelo one will still be open, but New Albany, Blue Mountain, Wheeler, I'm imagining they'll probably extend that again for tomorrow. I can't guarantee these are the exact times, but just something to keep in mind as something that you might need to, if it's something you need and you're able to get there, try to get there as well. Warming stations, I have a list somewhere here from the North Mississippi Storm Chasers. I think I might have closed that tab here. But if you just do, I'll show you the Google here as well. So let's Google North Mississippi, MISSISSIPPI, Storm Chasers warming station. I'm going to say warming. That should pop up right there at the top. So you pull that up. Wants me to log in. But pretty much the top thing that will show up on their page is warming stations. And so I'll post a link to their page in the Facebook chat here so you can find it. But they have done an absolutely incredible job of keeping people aware of where these warming stations are. So I appreciate them, appreciate you, appreciate everybody for kind of working together on this. I have someone there in Etta just joining. We talked to the Public Service Commissioner. Again, the power restoration is slow but progressing. The icy conditions in northern Benton County are very icy and significant, and unfortunately continuing to cause some issues there. And that's what's slowing power outages, but some main lines have been reconnected. Hopefully that'll speed things up. But I'm sitting here in some of the rural areas. I'm still expecting to be out of power for at least days. And I think there will probably be some folks that are out of power still for weeks. Again, that's Matt Lopon. That's not official saying that, but the damage significant enough to be the case. Our next live broadcast is going to be coming up here at 5 p.m. Our meteorologist Gabe Maynard and myself will be talking about the forecast. Again, this is another chilly night on the way. We do have, believe it or not, the potential for some frozen fog. Gabe and I will talk about that, its potential impact. That's coming up tonight in the Room to Room Weather Center at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. And then our meteorologist Maggie McCauley on, as she is every morning, on the mornings at 6:30, 7:30 a.m. tomorrow morning to get you out the door. And with any issues with those back roads, she'll have that for you as well. Okay, we'll see you come up at 5 and 6 o'clock. Thank you for supporting us and for watching us here on Mississippi Live Weather.
Game day brings its ups and downs, celebration and disappointment, anxiety and relief, friends and enemies. You can always argue over who should have won, but everyone can agree on great food. Appetizers, entrees, drinks, party platters, or even the taste of sweet victory. There's something for every season at Eat With Us restaurants.